Hello everyone, this is Lori from Grammy's Keepsakes, and I have some Little Golden Book December Daily Christmassy journals and all their button goodness ready to take a peek at. I have them listed in my shop, and let's go in and take a look. We're going to do a little domino thing here. All their goodness. Okay, the one on top is the Christmas Tree That Grew, and it's got this really pretty green with gold metallic tree Christmas fabric on the end and an assortment of green buttons. They all have 3 signatures. They all have their stories intact. The center signature in each book is a planner for 4 weeks, plus it has the month at a glance. And it's in here with all of its goodness. I've used hand-dyed papers and coffee-dyed papers, designer scrapbook papers, vintage music sheet, tracing paper, Norman Rockwell books, vintage ledger sheets, all kinds of goodness. Well, let's take a look. They each have about 160 pages. And this is the Christmas Tree That Grew. So there's lots of journaling space. And you get 4 luscious bags of ephemera to make this journal your own. And here we have a pocket. You saw how we made this in my last Little Golden Book series. This side is another pocket. I left the strings in the center long and tied in a bow so that you can leave them as is, cut them off, add charms, beads, or here we have a little corner, a flip up and pocket. And the digital for the planner I got from Calico Collage in their Golden Christmas Planner kit. Little pocket. And this opens up. Here's another week. Another week. Here's a kids' activity sheet. Coffee filter, folded up so it can be a little pocket tuck. And here's the month at a glance. This is a banjo music sheet. And the last signature, we're back to the story. Here's a little Christmas doily and an envelope that with a thumb notch. Here's Silent Night. Pretty doily dying. Here's some recipes in the Norman Rockwell book. The other half of the envelope. And here we have the corner tuck here. And this is the Christmas tree that grew with all the pretty green buttons. Here we have My Christmas Treasury, and it has some music, Christmas fabric, and I used the different pinks and greens from the cover and the fabric. Got some little reindeer. Here, let's move my avalanche a little better. It came upon the midnight clear. Our pocket, their flip, our coffee filter, Norman Rockwell, this one I printed on a heavy presentation paper. I tried to mix it up a little bit. And here's a fun book page. There's the calendar in the center. I used nice and sturdy papers for all of the pages to help hold your ephemera and your decoration. Here we have our envelope. Our doily. Another Norman Rockwell page. And My Christmas Treasury. Here we have the Littlest Christmas elf with pretty red and green and yellow buttons. Deck the Halls. Norman Rockwell. Little pocket, and it flips up. Oops. Let's see. Get that. Okay. And the center. This is fun. It's got all these greens going on. This is that pocket. And our envelope. Here's our calendar. Some more children's activities. And our last signature, back to the story. More of the banjo music. Norman Rockwell, Christmas in Maine story. The Littlest Christmas Elf. I just love these colors of buttons. I took them out of the cover colors. And here we have Mickey's Christmas Carol. I have two of these. And I'm only going to show you one, but the other one's very, very similar. Here we've got all the pretty buttons, and I took the purples from the fabric here and from the cover, and then the red and greens. And this is a 1920 music sheet. I would say this would probably be the most fragile paper in the book. But the rest are nice and strong. Here we have our Norman Rockwell again. And our coffee filter. I've been doing a lot of stash busting. Here's our little pocket, the flip. I figured the easiest way to clean up my room is to use it and get rid of it. And here we have the planner and our second signature. And there's some things that I'm still going to hoard for a while because I have to. Can't help myself. This one's a really nice, heavy, thick, nice piece of paper. In our envelope pocket. And our calendar. How to draw a reindeer. And our last signature, back to the story. And the jingle bells. The little polar bears are getting ready to ski. In our Norman Rockwell, here we have a poem from Robert Frost. This is fun. Gotta love Mickey. Mickey's Christmas Carol. And Frosty the Snowman. I just love this one. Here I've got purples and greens and the little black coal buttons. The fabric on here is a little bit of a silver metallic in it. Real pretty and snowy, icy looking. And here's our mittens. And sledding and toboggans. Our Norman Rockwell. I tried to put 2 pages of Norman Rockwell in each book. In the center, we have our planner again. and our calendar. Here I put the little corner pocket on the little short page. Some variety. And back to our story. Let it snow. A little envelope pocket. Norman Rockwell, The Light from the Cave by Sidney Fields. Frosty the Snowman. And the pretty purples, blacks, greens. I was thinking of you, Samantha, with all these pretty purples. And here we have the Elves and the Shoemaker. And we have some bunch of pretty browns, greens, and reds. It's a good thing I've got the mothership of buttons in this house. I got just about every color you can think of. It's coming in handy. And here on this music, it's God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. And this was in a children's or students' music learning book. And they have their pencil writing in here. Looks like they were counting the beads. Here's a fun page with Santa and all the Christmas words. And Norman Rockwell. And at our center, I have the planner on heavy presentation paper again. In this one, I used more of a brown, yellow, brown, tan waxed cording for this book to coordinate with the browns of the covers. Back to the story. And this music is in Norwegian. A very old book. But it's got nice strong paper. Norman Rockwell again. Happy New Year. Like the feel of it. It's a nice paper. The Elves and the Shoemaker. All are pretty browns, rich colors. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer shines again. And pretty red, white, and green buttons. And I have 2 of these books. I'll show you just one. And Norman Rockwell. There's a big Santa. And we have our planner. It's on the nice heavy paper. Here we have the reindeer names. And back to the story. Kind of trying to go a little bit swiftly so that it doesn't take forever, but yet you're able to see each one of the books. And all their luscious room. Here we have our envelope. Our doily. Christmas in a Village by John Clare. A nice big picture, Norman Rockwell book. And Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer shines again. The pretty buttons. And The Night Before Christmas. this pretty black and red with metallic gold on the green, and pretty red and green buttons with some browns. Song of the Steeple Bells. The Mahogany Tree by William Makepeace Thackeray. Here's a fun little print. And our planner, it's on presentation paper again. I love how this paper came out. Smells good too. And back to our story. And this is in Norwegian. That was one of my hoard books. I wanted to keep it forever, but thought, nope, I've got to use them up. Then I can get more. And here we have Santa again from Norman Rockwell. It's going through all of his letters in a little mail bag. And yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. Oh, my fingers can't get it. There it is. The arthritis. Goodness. Our pocket. And this is The Night Before Christmas, with all its pretty buttons. So these are all my yummy goodness. See if I can stand them up without too much of a crash again. I just love looking at the buttons. Hopefully I'm somewhere near on screen. And the pretty purples. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, everybody.